Hello, everyone. Are we live here? Hopefully we are. Just waiting for it to show up here. It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. So, let me just make sure I'm not not echoing myself here. All right, hey guys, RD King here. I'm streaming from my apartment in Boston, Massachusetts, on the East Coast. It's a beautiful fall afternoon here, and oh yeah, I think I have my my reverb on here. Hold on, let me turn that off. All right, that should be better for the moment. Hello. I see someone said that they're watching from Russia. Gabriel says he's watching from Brazil, I think. It's cool to be able to connect with people from across the world. And, I know we're all missing live music right now. It's tough time for seeing shows. So, yeah, I'm happy to do this. Oh, you're very welcome, Faster Than Light. And yeah, this is gonna be really fun. So I'm gonna play some songs, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll probably take some breaks at certain points to answer questions. But I'd like to start off with a song from my second album, the self-titled album, RD King, and this song is called Rain and Ash. So here we go. And we're going to sort of think of this as a sound check, so please let me know if the sound is really off or anything. I did do a little testing on my own, but you can never be sure. So here we go. This one's called Rain and Ash. right. That was called Rain and Ash from my second album, the self-titled one. Thank you, Francisco. And hello from Sardinia. And I see Eugenio from Quebec. Hello. Hi, Ralph from Germany. Very cool to see people tuning in from all over. So, hi Tito, greetings from Macedonia. Greetings from Boston. Right. The next song I'm going to play here is another tune, continuing with songs from my latest album, which came out last January, actually, so already a year and a half ago. It's crazy to think. Feels like just yesterday it came out, but it's already been quite a while. This is the third track, I believe, or fourth track, fourth track on the album. It's called Anna's Waltz. Thank you guys. Thank you, Nishan from India. I really appreciate that. A Disney song. I take that as a high compliment. I'm a big fan of Disney sort of epic melodic ballads. Someone asked, what is my guitar? It is a Martin. Sorry, Capo's covering it up there. Martin HD 35. So it's kind of the next model up from the D28. And yeah, this was actually a high school graduation present. And I've had a lot of guitars, but this is this one's special. It's actually a little different than the guitars that a lot of the people on Candyrat play. So yeah, it's a little bit unusual there. Other unusual thing, I'm using finger picks, which some of you may already know about. But they're these little metal attachments that slide onto my fingers here. A lot of Candyrat guitarists and other fingerstyle guitarists use... Oh, sorry, I realized I left the reverb on here. Did I? Or no, maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Just worried there for a second. So, yeah, a lot of Candyrat artists who use their fingers will either just use their nails, or more often they'll get acrylic nails, actually, which is something classical guitarists do as well. And I got into finger picks when I was a teenager, and I just really loved the big, powerful sound you can get with them. So, yeah, that's why I use them. Someone asked, what kind of style is this guitar playing? This is called fingerstyle guitar playing, because I'm using my fingers as opposed to using a pick where you strum. Cool. So gonna keep going here. So a lot of people who play this style of guitar use what are called altered tunings. When we there's sort of a standard way that you tune the guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E, and sometimes to sort of get to be able to play different keys and get sort of different registers out of the guitar, we'll tune strings down to lower notes. And this particular song is kind of an annoying one to tune to, just because I need a lot of different things to be in tune. So it's always a little bit of a delicate balance. The guitar is an imperfect instrument, which is to say that you can never get it perfectly in tune on all the frets. So you have to do the best you can. Best I can here. This is not Dadgad. No. I actually don't have any songs in Dadgad, funnily enough. It's a very common tuning for fingerstyle guitar. This is close though. It's it's basically drop D, and then my G string is tuned down to an F sharp, and then I have a normal B string and E string, so it's kind of half in open D. All right, I think we're ready to go here. This is this is not We're Not Coming Back, but that one's on here. I'll be playing that one in a little bit. Stay tuned. And hi, Sydney from Brazil. Hi, Peter. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Richard. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This is really fun. So this next piece is called Thrum, and it's about sort of just the magic of music. It's also really hard to play, so wish me luck. Haven't played this one in a while. Well, thank you guys. Yeah, that's hard. Definitely don't want to go too fast on that one. That which I did a little bit. It's always hard because the fast ones you really want to play extra fast because they have lots of energy. It's easy to get too wrapped up in the song and forget to slow down a little bit. So that's a tricky one for that. Yep, it's called Thrum. Have I ever thumb wrestled Ewan Dobson? I have not. He has quite a fast right hand as well, and he actually used finger picks, I believe, earlier on, just like I do, these metal picks. Thanks for not slapping the guitar. Well, I actually, I love all the different styles that we have. I happen to play a little more old school, a little less percussively, but a lot of my favorite guitar players do a lot of that stuff incredibly well. What's my favorite tuning? Ooh, that's a good question. I think if I had to pick one, I mean, first of all, I love standard tuning. Actually, a lot of the songs I'm playing today are actually in standard tuning. But if I had to pick a tuning aside from that, it would definitely be drop D. I write a lot of songs in drop D. I think it's, if anything, some people have made the argument actually that drop D should really be the standard tuning for guitar. And when I studied classical guitar, which is what I studied in college, so many of the pieces written for classical guitar are in drop D. It just helps you out so much to have a low bass note that is paired with a higher string, and it just sounds so resonant. The guitar in drop D just has a really full, rich sound, and it makes playing a lot of different chords easier. Tino, I'm afraid I don't have songs with singing. Everything I'm playing today will be instrumental. Maybe someday, though. All right, on to the next one. This one is called Sanctuary. right. Cool, guys. Thank you. That one was called Sanctuary. And so far, every piece I've played so far is from the second album, R.D. King, which is available on the Candyrat website, and there's tabs for all 4 of the songs I played so far. So if you're interested in learning them, yeah, check those out. I wrote the tabs myself, so if they're inaccurate, you can write me an angry email. And if you need any help figuring out the songs, send me a message. I'd be happy to help out. How to choose the tuning? Is that your question, Austin? How to choose the something tuning? How do I choose the tuning? Well, it's often that I play something that sounds pretty good in standard tuning or drop D, but I just think, if I could just do this chord shape, this stretch, or if I just had this open note, it would tie it all together. And so, what if I tune this string down to this? That's usually how I end up at tunings, which is maybe why I don't have as many really strange tunings. My tunings tend to be either standard or drop D and then offset by 1. There's some exceptions to that, but a lot of them are in that category. What kind of guitar is this? This is a Martin HD 35. It's the next step up from the 28. I've had it, I guess, about 11 years now. Am I going to go live more often? Yeah, I am hoping to. I was kind of working on getting my setup here a little bit, still working out the kinks there, but I am planning to go live a lot more often, and both on the Candyrat channel and on my own YouTube channel, which if you haven't subscribed already, check that out. I have a lot more videos. There's probably close to 10 videos on the Candyrat YouTube channel, and I have another, 30 or so on my own YouTube channel, so check those out. Thank you, Anton from Russia. I appreciate that. Can't understand. Something's getting cut off here. Can't quite see your message. Well, we're going to move on to... Oh, what brand of guitars? It's a Martin. One of the most classic brands. So, they're actually the ones who invented the Dreadnought guitar, which is this full-size instrument. So I'm going to play something now from the first album, and then I'll answer more questions after that. This song has a special place in my heart because I wrote it as a meditation on empathy. And empathy is one of the most positive words in the English language, and it's something that I think we all wish we could be more empathetic, which is to say that we could sort of care and relate and connect to each other a little more, and have a little more compassion for each other's life circumstances. And it's something that I talk a lot about, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I want to be more empathetic. But then someone does something that annoys me, like, does something, pulls out in front of me when I'm driving, or, cuts in front of me in line at the supermarket, and suddenly I find myself getting very angry. And so I wrote this song as sort of hopefully a reminder to myself to be a little kinder, a little gentler, and a little more compassionate and empathetic towards my fellow human beings. So hopefully it inspires some of that feeling in you as well. It's called Heartstring. Thanks, guys. That was Heartstring, a tune from my first album, which came out in 2017, and it's called Versus Self. And that one you can find on my website, rdkingmusic.com. And there's tabs for a couple songs there, including that one. It's not an easy song exactly, but it's a little easier than a little slower anyway, than some of the others. It is very fun to play. Just reading some comments here. I am glad Marty says empathy and compassion is where it's at. Intelligence without compassion is the definition of insanity. I agree. I am glad to see that there are some people out there trying to be compassionate beings as well. Someone asked, what is my musical background? So apparently, someone else is aware of. I studied classical guitar performance. Yep, I studied classical guitar at Ithaca College in upstate New York. And it was a conservatory-style classical training program. And yeah, it was 4 years of a lot of learning classical pieces. I played all nylon string guitar. I think many of you might be aware that, may be aware of this, but I'll talk about it anyway. This is a steel string acoustic guitar, and the strings are made out of metal. Classical guitar, the strings are made out of nylon, and it has a much gentler, softer sound. So it's a little different. On steel string, I use finger picks, which are these metal picks on the end of my fingers. For nylon guitar, you definitely can't do that. Do not use finger picks on a nylon string guitar. It'll sound terrible, and you'll probably snap a string because the metal's too hard. So on that, you have to use your nails, either your natural nails, grow them out, or you have to get acrylic nails, which a lot of classical guitarists do. Thank you, Tim and Marty for the words, kind words, and Jay, your guitar tone is superb. Well, thank you very much. Richard asks if I would play There Are No Young Forests. Not today, I'm afraid. That's a tough one to memorize. I can't just pull that one out, unfortunately. But I'll play that one next live stream. I promise. I'll do that one. And MR says hello from Germany. Yes, thank you for tuning in from Germany. Hello from Boston. Heading Outside says, sounds like a new ending. That was just a slightly different ending. I like to tweak the endings of songs sometimes. You know, you play the same thing over and over again. It's nice to add a little something to it. And Andrew, thank you for tuning in for the vibrations. All right. What am I playing next? Yeah. So I thought I would play, I actually started a series on my own YouTube channel, which you can check out. It's just RD King. It should come up if you type in RD King. And I started the series a while ago called 1 Minute Wednesday, where every Wednesday I write a brand new piece of music and post it. It's just a minute long, so it has to be a short composition. And it's not just me improvising for a minute. It's an actual, piece that I've written out. And it's been a real interesting challenge for me to get fast at writing and also to try to write concise, short pieces of music. Normally I write really, really long pieces of music. So it's been a really fun challenge for me to try to write a 1 minute piece of music every week. And yeah, I thought I'd play. Some of them turn out better than others, as you'd expect, because I try to write them quickly. So I maybe start them Tuesday night usually, and then finish it Wednesday morning, and then record it on Wednesday. So I thought I'd play one of them for you. This one is from pretty recently, and it was called Daydreaming. So it's only a minute. You can time me. Should only be a minute long. All right, here we go. It's called Daydreaming. right, hopefully that came in under a minute. So I think I'm going to transition back to songs from my self-titled album, which came out in January 2019. And this song, I actually just released a video for of a live in-studio performance, no edits, on the Candyrat channel just last week. So you can check that out if you want. I think it's one of the newer videos on Candyrat. And make it longer. I may, in fact, make some of the 1 minute pieces longer. But this one should be plenty long. Am I going to compose longer songs with more deliberation? Definitely. I am working on a lot of new songs that are longer. I'm going to play one later on that I've been working on. Do I have a special string setup? I do not at all. No, this is just standard strings, the nut and bridge. I've gotten the guitar set up a few times, but no, there's no special setup here. Are there any recordings of my music and album? Yes, that's a great question. I should have already mentioned that. Yeah, so I have 2 albums out. One of them is actually, let me I'm going to grab them right now because I have copies of them right over here. All right. So this is my most recent album, came out in 2019, and it's available on the Candyrat website along with tabs, MP3 downloads, all that stuff. And this is my first album called Versus Self, and it came out in 2017. And this one's available on my website, RD King Music, and both of them are on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that jazz. So you can find them anywhere, which is pretty cool. Do I think learning music theory is important? Yes, I definitely do. I think learning music theory is important. I think it's another tool in your toolbox, as a composer. People have gotten pretty far with knowing only limited music theory, but I do think that it makes things a lot easier if you understand how things fit together. Yeah, I think if you want to understand something, you need to study it, and music theory is a way of understanding music. All right. All right, we're heading back to the second album, and this is a piece that came out last week. It's called The Dying of the Light. Awesome. Thank you guys. Hello from France. Hi, Ben. And I, not Jackie Chan, nothing like some live Candyrat to clean on a Sunday afternoon. Totally agree. Glad to help out your Sunday. Troy, thanks. I'm glad you love the song. Sam Hughes, I appreciate the metal symbol. That song's supposed to be gotta have a little heavy metal in it for sure. And someone asked, what's my favorite song lately? Ooh, that's a great question. I've actually been listening to a lot of classical piano recently. I think I kind of wish that I was a classical piano player sometimes. Definitely informs the way that I play guitar. So recently I've actually been trying to learn Intermezzo in A major from Opus 118 by Brahms. I've been listening to Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. If you haven't heard that, I highly recommend it. Thanks. Emma says amazing. Thank you, Em. Kara says you have a Leo Kottke sound. Well, that is a huge compliment. Thank you so much. He's one of my absolute favorite guitarists. Was lucky to see him live once with my dad in Boston, and yeah, it was an unforgettable experience. He's an amazing performer. All right. Speaking of, actually, here's one of my favorite songs. I'm actually going to play a cover now, an arrangement. I think this is, I've played all original music so far, but this one I've actually released a video of on the Candyrat channel. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs, and we'll see how long it takes someone to guess what song it is when I start playing it, but I'm gonna say probably not very long. All right, here we go. Let's hear it. Let's see who can call out the song, who recognizes it first. right. Well, thank you guys. So it looks like someone guessed it pretty quickly. Mr. Javabali guessed it, I think, in about 10 seconds, or maybe even less. Someone said, Peter says, I'm betting you already knew what the only Beatles tune he plays. Ha, I play more than one Beatles song, but that is one I find myself playing pretty often. But I'm a huge Beatles fan, so what are some of your guys' favorite Beatles songs? I'm always looking for new arrangement ideas. So if you throw some out there, could be that I'll arrange it. And thank you for the kind words, Maurice. And nothing's gonna change my world. One of my all-time favorite lines. I love the lyrics to that song. It's too bad that I do an instrumental version because I really love the words. How long have I been playing another instrument? Well, I've always kind of dabbled in piano. I'm not a guitar is my primary instrument, and I had to study piano a little bit when I was in college as part of getting my degree in guitar. So I had to take several semesters of piano, and I continued playing after that. So so I'm a I'm a decent piano player, but guitar is certainly my primary instrument. I can play any string instrument that's very, like a guitar. Once you can play guitar, you can pretty much play, ukulele, mandolin, bass, those sorts of things. I did take a little bit of cello in college also. I love cello. I wish I had a chance to pursue that more. That's one of my absolute favorite pieces. I'm seeing some Beatles tune suggestions. Someone says Blackbird, of course. Love Blackbird. There's a lot of good acoustic arrangements of that one already, though. If you haven't heard it, Don Latarski is a great fingerstyle guitarist who has an incredible version of Blackbird. Bulldog, I assume you mean Hey Bulldog. I love that song. That would be an interesting one to try to arrange for guitar. I think that would actually be a really cool one. Shane says, hey from the Midwest. Hey Shane, thanks for tuning in. Lang, I'm glad you enjoyed the ending. Here Comes the Sun. I do have a video of Here Comes the Sun actually on my own YouTube channel. That's a great one. I love Callum Graham, and I have met him a little bit, and he was actually one of the judges at the Canadian Guitar Festival's International Fingerstyle Guitar Competition the year that I won, which was 2017. But I haven't gotten the chance to really hang out with him. But he's a phenomenal guitarist. Absolutely love his sound. It's just incredible. Do I remember the first song I ever played on guitar? I don't know if I remember the very first song. I have to say I played a bunch of Neil Young. My guitar teacher when I was learning guitar was really into Neil Young. So I learned a lot of like Heart of Gold, Old Man, a lot of songs like that, which I still used to teach for my own students now. So I love them. Thank you, Kelly, for the donation. Really appreciate it. If you guys do feel, if you're enjoying the performance and talking and hanging out, you can leave a tip at my PayPal account is in the doobly-doo. It's rd@rdkingmusic.com. And yes, it does go a little out of tune. All right. Thank you, Ben, for tuning in. All right, I'm going to play another piece from my first album, which is the one with this cover. I should hold up one of the CDs. So I have two albums. There's this one, and there's this one. So I'm going to play something from the first album, which is the White Album. And this is a song about... This song was sort of inspired by a real sort of existential sort of moment in my life. I feel like I have kind of a lot of existential crises almost weekly, but this was kind of a rare one for me. even by my standards, and it thankfully resulted in a song that means a lot to me anyway. And it's about how life just feels very fleeting and transient, and how that's both very beautiful and very sad at the same time. And it was partially inspired also by a book called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, Czech author. I get a lot of inspiration from literature, and that would be one that I particularly enjoy. And this song is called Lightness of Being. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Raphael. I really appreciate the kind words, and Leonardo, and the Rocker, and Mr. Java. Thank you guys. And Finny, I appreciate the words, but it's good to go through. Everyone should go through some existential crises in their life. I think you need to have periods where you have to reevaluate things and realize and sort of change and evolve the way that you're looking at life. And for me, I'm trying to approach my life in the most sort of open and genuine and true way. But who I am changes from year to year, absolutely, and even from month to month or day to day even. So constantly sort of looking at life and how I approach things and trying to open my mind and open my heart to the beauty and the love around us. Anthony asks if it's possible to purchase my albums on disc somewhere. It is. You can purchase the newest one, which is just self-titled, RD King. This one you can find on the Candyrat website, so just go to candyrat.com, or just type in RD King. Candyrat should come up, and you can order it for purchase there. My first album, Versus Self, this one you can order on my website, and yeah, you can also download MP3s, you can get tabs, all that stuff. There's tabs on both my website and the Candyrat website. Tabs for the songs on this album will be on my website, and the other album will be on Candyrat. How am I tuned? That's the last song, actually. It's just in standard tuning. Jackie Chan says you should feel stupider yesterday every day. I agree. Yeah, it's a sign that you're growing and learning as a person. That's what it's all about. And music is such a powerful part of that for me. It's amazing how many epiphanies I've had while going for a walk and listening to a favorite piece of music. Do you guys have any pieces that you've listened to that have kind of inspired you to the point where you've changed your whole life? So I feel like I have. What am I playing next? Okay, yeah, I think we're going back to the second album. Bryant asks, what kind of picks do I use? They are the most standard type that you can find, which, well, pretty much, by Dunlop, which makes these, and they're .018 gauge. That part is critical. There's a lot of different gauges of them. Anything thinner than .018 sounds really tinny to me, and anything thicker is way too thick and sounds like really harsh, and you can't really play with enough dexterity. So if you want to get picks, I recommend, starting with one at a time and sort of seeing if you can play, just practicing playing scales. Oh, I forgot I'm in weird tuning now. That didn't work. Just practice like that with just one pick until you feel really that you can be very accurate with it, then practice with the next one. And finally, it takes a lot of time to add in the ring finger. That's the last one to add. We don't need to add in the pinky. Just thumb and 3 fingers will do. How long have I been playing? Since I was 11, I think. So about almost 19 years, I guess that means. So... This is another song about an existential crisis, and it's on the second album. It's called We're Not Coming Back. Thanks, guys. So that one was called We're Not Coming Back. It's kind of a sad one. It's yeah, that one. There's a video for that one on the Candyrat channel. CG Thornton, thank you so much. The Girl Who Rode the Wind. Yeah, that's a very fun one. I will definitely play that one next time. I'm really going for the Sonic Journey, though. I'm glad that came through. What kind of Martin am I playing? I am playing an HD 35, and I love it. It's one of my favorite guitars. Although I have to say, I've played other ones aside from mine. They don't all sound quite like this. I think I got kind of lucky. Got a special one. Someone said that that my music could use a special vinyl record edition. I would love that. I love vinyl, so I would be overjoyed to have that. Have I ever wanted to quit? If so, what brought me back? I can't really say that I've ever wanted to quit since I started playing seriously. When I first started taking lessons, I did not really overly enjoy it. I didn't hate it, but I definitely was not a big practicer or anything when I first started out. It took me a while to get into it. But after that, I've never wanted to quit, but I've definitely gone through periods where I practiced more and wrote more than others. That kind of comes and goes. I think putting pressure on yourself often backfires. So if you try to be like, I've got to practice every day and I've got to be writing music or whatever, that can be a little bit of a trap. You start to develop all these negative associations with it. I think just picking up the guitar and playing is the best way to approach it. So trying to play every day. I am using Diodario strings. They're pretty basic, but I actually really like the way they sound, and they last a little longer. They sound new for a little longer, which is really good for me because I use finger picks that kind of tear up the strings. So thank you, Clarissa. Glad you're enjoying it. All right. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna play 2 songs now from the first album. Ben, yes, they are the phosphor bronze strings, and I do. Yeah, I've met a lot of the other Candyrat artists. I recorded my second album with Antoine Dufour, so got to spend time with him. He's an amazing sound engineer and guitarist, and just an awesome guy too. But I've met quite a lot of Candyrat artists. I played a show with Peter Jaluzzi. I've gotten to meet many others. Heading Outside asks Heartstring. I played Heartstring earlier, so you can go back and listen afterwards. For now, I'm going to play a song that was inspired by 2 of my favorite genres of music. One of them being classical music, and the other being heavy metal. So this is my attempt to infuse those 2 styles, and it's called The Precipice. Forgot to turn on the reverb. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Paul says hi from Durham. Hi, Paul. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Maurice. Yeah, that one has a lot of rhythmic intensity to it. And Ben, thank you very much. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I actually realized at the ending part, I actually realized if I play it really slowly, it sounds like this kind of like soulful bossa nova sort of thing. Kind of like that. Kind of fun to do stuff like that with your own songs. Troy mentions that a song that had an instant impact on him was Ocean by John Butler. Same for me as well. Yeah, and it sounds like you had an emotional experience with that after your brother passed. Yeah, that song really puts into sounds what we can't really express in words. It's an amazing song. Do I use, Ben asks if I use finger picks because it's a Martin or because I usually do that. I usually do that on all steel string guitars. I do also play classical guitar, and for that I just use my fingers. I don't use finger picks. I'll just use my natural nails. But for steel string guitar, pretty much always use picks. So hello from Canada, hello from Boston. All right, I have just 2 more songs, both from my first album. But thank you guys so much for listening. If you're enjoying this, you can, always find my music on Spotify, on Apple Music, on all streaming services. You can find both my first album and my second album on there. You can buy the albums on the Candyrat website or on my website, rdkingmusic.com. You can subscribe to my channel for RD King. It's just my channel, separate from the Candyrat channel. If you just type in RD King, it should come up. And that I post videos to every week. So I post a new 1-minute piece of original music every week, and then I also post other videos sometimes too. And yeah, there's also a link to my PayPal if you want to leave a tip. It'd be greatly appreciated. Obviously, don't have the chance to play as much live music as I normally would, so this is a rare treat for me. So this next one I'm going to play, after I tune up, is a song from the first album, and it's called Luminescence. And I kind of had in mind, the moon reflecting over the water on the ocean. That was kind of the image I had in my head. I often have an image in my head when I'm writing. But this one turned into a little more of a journey piece. Delbert says, pure bliss on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you very much. Can I do a classical guitar piece before I go? Not today, but I'm going to do another one of these pretty soon. I almost wanted to do that today anyway, but now that you said that, I will definitely do it next time. So stay tuned. And Richard says, thanks for having this. Thanks to Candyrat too. Yes, thank you to Candyrat for hosting this, and to Rob Poland, who helped set this up at Candyrat. It's really great. It's a lot of fun for me. I really missed playing for you guys. Normally I'd be playing, live shows every week basically, and haven't played one of those in in many months. So thank you guys for making it possible by tuning in. Alright, here we go. This is Luminescence. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Jackie Chan, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. And the hot dog sticker is very funny. Sorry that you didn't get as much cleaning done as you wanted to because you were hopefully listening and enjoying the live stream. Pito says, wow, thank you. David says, right hand to die for. Well, I appreciate that a lot. It's something I've worked very hard at for many hours. David Leroy asks if I could talk about my sound setup. The sound is very good, professional quality. Wow. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I'm still tweaking it a little bit. I just got this new mic. It's a WA 251. Really enjoying it. But I'm still tweaking, the compression and reverb and stuff, and working out how to do it. And so heading outside, it says, "Bravo, thank you." Wow, thank you for listening, Grandma. And that song was called Luminescence. It was from my very first album. Came out in 2017. But you can find that one on Spotify and everything, along with the rest of the album. We're getting near the end here. I think I have just one more tune for you guys. So if you have any last questions, now's the time to ask them. It is going to take me a second to retune for this one. This one's in slightly more unusual tuning. Kara says that... Oh, you were from Kara. I see. You were asking, where do I hail from? I am from Boston. That's where I live now, Boston, Massachusetts, in the U.S. And I am here currently. So I'm... I've been here most of my life. I left for college. I went to college in upstate New York. Not that far, really. Ultimately from home. And that's where I returned to Boston. So I live in a suburb just outside of Boston, and I teach. I run my own teaching studio privately, guitar and piano also. Paul says, try a tune called Wilson's Wilds. I will definitely look into it. I love old Elizabethan tunes. Yes, I try not to overdo it on the compression in the last movement. It is all about the thumb and the fingers. You taught me well. What's the best advice I've received musically? That's a great question. I think I could say so many things about that. Wow, that is almost, it's hard to condense into the best thing, but I'll say one great thing anyway, would be to really focus on the actual full sound experience of your performance, and really trying to really inhabit that space, and really trying to connect the piece together, and playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of heart. I think that's the key. Because the thing you have to remember when you're performing is that however much you feel that you're playing with emotion and heart, it doesn't always come across the same way to the listener. So you have to really go very deep to make it come across. Do I like John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, and Al Di Meola? Ben asks. I think you might be referring to one of my favorite albums, Friday Night in San Francisco. I loved that album when I was learning guitar in high school. Mediterranean Sundance is one of my favorite pieces. I've been able to play that a couple times with a guitarist friend of mine, Scott Card, who's an amazing guitarist. Shawshank, oh hello Shawshank, asks how my experience was at the Fingerstyle Fest 2019 in Arkansas. Oh, I loved it. It was great. There's this Fingerstyle Collective Festival last year in Arkansas that Candyrat organized with Fret Monkey Records, and it was an amazing experience. They had all these performers from all over the world. I performed there. Many others did as well, and I taught there actually a workshop. It was an amazing experience, and unfortunately they were going to do it again this year, and then coronavirus happened, of course. So, but hopefully next year. And Hangarbody says play Rain and Ash song. Well, I played that one. That was the very first song I played in the live stream, so you can go back and watch it. All right, everyone. This is going to be. This is going to be the last song. So thank you so much again for listening. I'll talk afterwards just to say goodbye. But I really appreciate this. This has been a really fun experience for me. So. Jackie Chan says you don't get a concrete answer on playing. You always get some romantic mumbo jumbo. Well, he did say what was his best advice musically. If he'd asked about concrete techniques, I could go on a little bit more. But if you're interested in that, you can write me an email because I don't want to bore the non-guitarists here. This is actually the last piece from my first album, and it's also by far the oldest piece that I still play. I wrote it when I was 19, I think. So hope you enjoy it. It's called An End to Wandering. All right, guys. Well, uh, thank you so much, Kara. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I want to thank Candyrat Records for having me. And I'm representing the nice Candyrat Records shirt. And it's a real joy to play for you guys today. I hope hope you enjoyed it. I see someone wants Trembling next time. I promise. I almost was going to include it today, but we'll have more. Got to save some for next time. Already played quite a lot of the second album. So don't worry, though. There'll be more. I'm going to hopefully do these in the future. If you want to make sure that you are notified for that, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm always posting about when I have upcoming live streams and new videos. You can follow me on YouTube. That's RD King. You can support my music by purchasing a tab or the album from my website, rdkingmusic.com, or from the Candyrat website. You can listen on Spotify and Apple Music, all that stuff, and subscribe to me on those services. Otherwise, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I really appreciate everyone coming out and listening. Thanks, Richard, for the kind comments throughout, and thank you, Steph. Appreciate it. Marty, thank you for the donation. Thank you for your time, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hello, George from England. Glad that you enjoyed the stream. I appreciate it. Thanks, Andrew, for tuning in. Yeah, you guys are awesome. This was a ton of fun. So we'll definitely I'll make sure to do one again soon. I might do one from either my YouTube channel, or I might do one from Facebook soon as well. So I'm going to try to do both of those. So, but yeah, this was great. Thanks again, guys. I'm gonna sign off now, and hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, whether it's afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are. And we'll meet again. I'll be playing again very soon. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.